Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Unpublic hip opinions because I just can't anymore.
1. Allday Project's debut is if cultural appropriation and nepotism had a baby and named it Famous. It's a $4 million anti-advertisement for why K-pop should be more selective with who gets a debut. Famous is literally the audio equivalent of buying followers on Instagram. Looks busy, but it's all fake. I've seen more sincerity in a spam email. There's literally no melody here, just expensive production layered over and over again. The beat itself never goes anywhere. You get a single lifeless loop that drones endlessly, looping the same tired phrases about fame and drip. Famous spends 3 minutes bragging about success and influence none of them have earned. Your debut track is literally your introduction. This is when you prove yourself. And you're already flexing about wealth, fame, and status that you literally do not have yet. You sound insane. Annie Moon flaunting wealth is especially comical. Yeah, congrats. You hit the genetic lottery, not exactly a flex worth rapping about. All this fake flexing just feels grossly disingenuous, shallow, and deeply unserious. It's not ironic.
I feel 50-50 about it because most of them, they seem to be well off, so it's not like they're flexing about something that's not true. And then on the other side of it, I also felt like they were flexing their confidence too as well in some of the lyrics. Is it groundbreaking? No, to me it did look like they had a really good budget, a really good team, the team behind working the scenes to really put up the production because it did look CGI, but it was expensive CGI, not the cheap CGI where it looks like, oh, I could clock it.
Yeah, so if you guys watched our video reaction, you know how we felt. To kind of recap quickly, I what she said, one point I do agree with, too much going on.
Yeah.
I did feel the music video was a little too much going on, kind of all over the place. But the song, I like the song. I felt like the song exactly what I expected it to be. I like when the debuts come out and saying we're the shit because I like the confidence. So I'm for the fact that they're bragging a little bit for a debut. I don't mind it. I'm giving them a pass. Now if their second, third release is gonna be the same content, oh, it's gonna be a problem for sure. But for the first one, just to come out, oh, I'm the best, because like we see most of the debuts like in Japan, here in Korea, the debuts are pretty common. Come out as like, oh, I'm the best. I'm this, I'm the shit. I like that. I like the confidence because you come out of the gates, you have to show them who you are. And
Yeah.
so there is nothing wrong with that. I don't know why she has a problem with it. I feel like it's a little bit personal with her. Feels
It's
personal.
very early on
Yeah, like,
too.
cause I don't feel like any of the hate is deserved. Like, even if you don't like the song, why hate it? There's way worse debuts than this.
In terms of delivery, the way they rapped, I was shocked with some of their sounds. The sounds was interesting, but I can't tell if they have like the vocal range to do singing too as well. If it's just
Yeah,
rap.
we didn't really get exposed to any
Yeah.
like of vocal
Yeah.
capabilities, but
Like what
that
they have in their secret
but
artillery.
that might not be their vibe. They might not sing. They might just rap. So
It's just embarrassing. Like, give us some narrative, something personal, anything but recycled bragging. Trendsetters? The only trend you set is recycled.
and the something personal. I don't know why we expecting K-pop to give us personal. Like that rarely ever happens. Like
We've
what
seen it in the K-pop space before,
we've seen it, but
but it's not expected.
mostly whenever it's personal, it's an individual, not a group. I don't know if I can say. I guess BTS have given us personal. It's Stray Kids. If you really like go into their B-sides, there's some personal songs, but it's rare. Like most of the K-pop, why do you want to? If you expect personal something, don't listen to K-pop. That's not what you're gonna get. And if you are gonna get personal, you're not gonna understand it either way. So who cares?
Cycling black aesthetics for clout and calling it culture. If flexing was a felony, you'd get community service. And Mr. Tarzan, sit your Dollar Tree Post Malone buttocks down. If hip hop could press charges, you'd be in jail. The only thing harder than your fake accent is my cringe when you start talking. Zero flow, awkward delivery, cringeworthy lyrics, and a forced street persona. Your bars are so forced, even AI rap generators are filing copyright claims that try hard delivery, the desperation to sound hard. It's so obvious it's practically cosplay. I've seen
Uh, I don't know how his bars are forced. I just didn't hear any bars. He didn't have any bars. He had a couple lines, but none of them landed like bars. So I don't know what you're talking about here.
K dramas with more authentic street energy, and those.
Kicking up the dirt as I pull up my skirt. When I walk by, bitch, they all on alert. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, you could be first.
Freaking braids. Why does every K-pop rapper think appropriating black hairstyles is a prerequisite for edge? You're the literal embodiment of cultural ignorance. You grew up in Korea, surrounded by Koreans. Stop pretending like you were raised on the streets. That ninja emoji you keep using on Instagram? The only thing it's slaying is your reputation. And Woo-chan? Blink twice if you need to be rescued. Decent rapper, nothing groundbreaking. But next to Tarzan he might as well be Kendrick Lamar. At least he's actually trained, coherent and clearly understands the basics of flow and rhythm. Woo-chan deserves better than babysitting these wannabes. Bailey Sock? Phenomenal dancer, tragic vocalist. They stuck you on talk rap duty because everyone's gotta look cool for TikTok, right? Let her dance. It's literally her strength. Stop forcing everyone to rap just because your concept demands it. Annie Moon? A nepotism baby with zero redeeming performance qualities. Her talk rapping is monotone, lifeless, and devoid of personality. Annie feels like someone who woke up rich, got bored and decided music was her quirky.
The thing about Annie Moon,
I feel like she came in strongly. She had a strong presence about her. I wasn't expecting that.
I liked her voice. She has a little deeper voice, but the rapping was weak. I will say that. But she does have a nice voice, so I think, let's be real though. This is a debut. Like we can't expect them to come out as somebody coming out with the seventh project. They're debuting. They're kind of just giving us a little bit. They can work on it. So for her, there's stuff to work on. But her voice is interesting. She has a little deeper voice.
Little hobby. Youngso is the only bright spot. She has actual vocal potential, actual charisma, but Teddy gives her crumbs. She gets 10 fleeting seconds of actual singing before we're dragged back into talk rapping garbage. She's clearly being underutilized and honestly should run far. Far away from this. We're young, we're rich, we're famous script. It's giving zero self-awareness, maximum delusion. Blackpink did it, Treasure did it, Baby Monster did it, Meow did it. Every YG-related group has been running this tired new money script since 2009. Rich kid Annie Moon flexing wealth isn't cute. It's annoying. The forced swagger, the fake bravado, the hollow brags. It reads as insecure, hollow, and lazy. Give us actual storytelling or personality, not just recycled flexes over.
If she's just taking random opinions from Reddit, and just like unpopular opinions from Reddit, then I can see what she's saying. I'm sure some people do feel the way. But if she feels that way, I don't really see why she would feel that way in particular. I don't get it.
Recycled cultural appropriation. Famous is a blatant shameless ripoff of black culture with no actual understanding or respect. Chains, grills, whips, fake AAVE, and cornrows, all the worst stereotypes lazily thrown together. Tarzan claiming his appropriative styling is because he was influenced by hip-hop as the only Asian in his friend group, despite growing up in Korea, is laughable and pathetic. Using ninja emojis to sign off comments? Seriously? Could this get any more ignorant? You wonder why black fans roll their eyes? It's because this is all performance. You never see idols wear box braids and cute concepts, only when they want to cosplay gangsta. It's all about the optics, never the substance. The MV is a headache in visual form, constant cuts, shaky AI-generated transitions, CGI overkill, everything about this.
Yeah, the MV is a little overkill. We did say that.
Yeah.
Screams desperate and overcompensating. It's painfully obvious this isn't actual high-budget quality. Just fake expensive effects meant to distract from how fundamentally weak everything else is. You barely see members clearly for more than 3 seconds. It's a VFX showcase, not a music video. The editing style isn't high energy, it's visual panic. And don't even pretend this looks genuinely expensive, AI-generated imagery. Heavy grain effects and endless green screen usage all scream budget saved by cheap tricks. The MV looks exactly like what it is, a flashy mask hiding a total lack of substance.
I think this might be that unisex group.
Overall,
that's what
the
they
entire
give 'em.
project feels like bored rich kids getting together and pretending to make music for fun. Nothing feels genuine or authentic here. Youngso aside, everyone else gives off strong hobbyist vibes. Annie Moon feels like she's cosplaying a career. Tarzan's pretending to be a rapper. Bailey Sock got shoved into vocals she's unqualified for. And Woo-chan looks increasingly confused about why he's even here. It screams pay-to-play, nepotism, and corporate manipulation rather than real talent. 2. Let's review Illit's Comeback the Dance. Starting with the one thing they got right, the beat. That French house foundation is actually the freshest thing Hive has slapped on an Illit track so far. It's punchy, a little glossy, kind of flirty in a 2000s pop club way. And it finally gives them something other than that insufferable tic-tac beat mumble cute formula they've been choking out since Magnetic.
I feel like it gave that.
It gave like a more grown version of that though. But it did give that tita tira tita to do tita tira tita to do. I don't even know if that's their song, but
It's not revolutionary, but it's a break from the monotony. They've tried to write a real song, keyword tried. Because the chorus come in and we're right back to square one with the lazy songwriting, toto tata toto titi. It's like a lore obnoxious version of Tic Tac. And the vocals? I don't care how many string flourishes or nostalgic references you throw in. If the vocal delivery sounds like 5 kids on sugar-free bubble tea cooing into a fan, I'm out.
Wow.
And look, it's not that their voices are bad, they're just being told to perform soft. Like uncomfortably soft. And it doesn't match the fast-paced production at all. You're giving me runway ready house energy, but the girls sound like they're whisper singing lullabies. And can we talk about structure? What structure? The length is 3 minutes and 8 seconds on paper, but once you cut the 31-second intro and the 23-second outro, you're left with maybe 2 verses and a dream, 2 minutes and 14 seconds to be exact. The intro alone eats up a whole half minute with no vocals. Why? Then after 2 copy-paste choruses, it just ends. No bridge, no dance break, no final chorus, just them padding the runtime like a broke student trying to meet the word count. You had a decent concept and you barely did anything with it. As for the MV, I don't hate it. Yeah, the green screen was crunchy as heck, but I'll allow it. It had that whimsical early 2000s direct-to-DVD fantasy movie vibe. Think Barbie Fairytopia meets Windows XP background. It fits the song's kitty pop aesthetic, which while not exactly my thing, at least feels self-aware. Still,
Kitty
the visuals
pop
can't carry the weight that
aesthetic.
the audio refuses to lift. 3. Cat's Eye
Um, I felt what was interesting for me about the eyelids video, we got like a halfway exiting that dream world and entering into real world. I'm kind of hoping that's signaling a shift in their careers where
Oh.
they leaving that kiddie pop in the past and entering more like lesser film times, like that house music. That's what I'm kind of hoping that was, because that was interesting.
You know, I like the previous song before that we reacted to recently.
Oh, Little Monsters.
Yeah, I think that one was a better drop.
Yeah, so for me that was like the highlight of it. It's kind of like that shift from the dream world into the real world. That was, I'm hoping that's kind of showing, okay, that they're switching their direction.
dropped the first MV teaser for Gabriella, and it's giving full-on telenovela realness, big hair, dramatic visuals, exaggerated flair, the whole soap opera fantasy. That said, whoever was responsible for Manon's wig needs to seriously reconsider their career choices because it's lopsided, stiff, and straight-up tragic. It's giving Party City on clearance. The MV concept is inspired by a Brazilian telenovela with the same name. It's a fun direction. As for the song itself, there are some demo versions floating around online, and it turns out
That's
the track was originally
interesting. It's maybe it can be possible we have a Latin artist also featured on it in the
Maybe.
future.
intended for Rita Ora and Anita. I gave the demo a listen, and it's a slick dramatic pop cut about a woman warning Gabriella to leave her man alone. The fact that Charlie XCX co-wrote it adds another layer of intrigue, and now I'm curious to see how Cat's Eye interprets it. Will they keep it
Oh, I
faithful
can't
to the
wait.
demo's original vibe, or go off the rails like they did with Gnarly? Who
I'm
knows? But
kind of
concept-wise,
curious to hear the demo.
Well, but I don't even know if the demo is legit. You know, just because it's online, it's
Yeah.
surfacing doesn't mean it's real.
this is definitely interesting. Hybe's leaning hard into pop culture references with Cat's Eye's branding. 4. Let's review Baby Don't Cry's pre-debut single Bet You'll Regret It. First, let's start with the name drama. Back in 2019, a 3-member boy group called BDC debuted under brand new music. They promoted for about 4 years before officially disbanding in 2023. Fast forward to now. P Nation just announced their new girl group Baby Don't Cry, which also shortens to BDC. Fans immediately clocked the
Yeah.
overlap and started asking questions. P Nation later confirmed that they got the rights to use the BDC name from brand new music CEO. But that didn't sit well with the former BDC members. They posted throwback pics on Instagram stories with captions like, "Even if we've already
remember
disbanded,
us?
it's a precious memory for us and the fans." They're clearly hurt, not because anything illegal happened, but because their
That
group's
is
name
kind
and
of
identity got
wild. Can you imagine like your favorite group from back in the day? You know, they get disbanded, and next thing you know, the same label wants to use the same name over again.
Uh,
That's crazy.
so I don't think it's the same label. I think they just bought the rights.
Okay, still crazy.
Hard for me to imagine that. That doesn't really happen in the West. I feel like it's more names you can come up with. You don't
Yeah,
need to
I don't
copy the same
know.
names. But
Like,
yeah, I don't know.
like in a, it's like someone taking like I guess they were considered iconic because they were only around for like 4 years, but maybe like you would see like a dupe version of it, but you wouldn't see an exact copy with initial name for letter for letter for letter.
I don't know. It's
passed on like it meant nothing. That said, the name belongs to the company, and they technically have every right to reuse it however they want. So while it totally makes sense that we feel upset on the boys' behalf, there's really no point in coming for P Nation like they stole something. It's just business. As for their first single, I know Soyeon produced it, but what in the carbon copy cosplay is this?
Oh,
P Nation's first girl
gosh.
group is about to debut, and their big teaser track sounds like
And
Soyeon
they're
walked
trusting
into the studio,
Soyeon.
dug through her G-Idol Dropbox folder labeled Leftovers, slapped on a new group name and called it a day. It's giving demo. It's giving What If Minnie sang the second verse. From the very first second, you can hear the Idol fingerprints smeared all over this. The chord structure, the pop rock light energy, the cutesy aggression, the wacky Soyeonisms in the lyrics. It's textbook G-Idol. It's barely 2 minutes long. And even in that microscopic runtime, we learn more about Soyeon's musical ego than anything about Baby Don't Cry themselves. At times, it straight up sounds like Soyeon is doing a solo performance as each member. 1 minute she's Mayeon, the next she's Minnie, and by the end you're wondering if the actual group even touched the mic or if Soyeon just did one of those AI voice filter things for the vocals. They're debuting in a week and I've heard nothing from them that screams potential. This is supposed to make
Wow.
people curious for more, but all it made me wonder is whether Soyeon is trying to debut a girl group or open a cloning lab. Bet you'll regret it isn't an introduction, it's a
Man,
projection.
the
It tells us
dialogue on Soyeon has transformed within a year. I
Yeah.
remember it was like a sob story, like, oh my God,
Yeah, the
what's going on with their
label. Yeah,
label
but since they
and their
resigned, it
comeback.
completely
Yeah,
switched.
yeah, and then once they resigned, and, re-signed the contract, and you got a better deal, everyone just flipped on Soyeon. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah, so we haven't react to this Baby Don't Cry. I wanted to watch her opinion to see if it's worth reacting, but I see it's not.
I
Because
would be curious to how, Soyeon wants to interpret and, channel herself in another
I
group.
don't know, guys. Do you want us to react to it? I don't know,
Let
because
us know.
if it's Soyeon, it's gonna be a bunch of broken English. I can already hear. It's like it's
Mm.
not even like if it's Soyeon. It
You
can be
know,
Soyeon, but it can be good. But if it's like G Idol, that it's
this tells me you think she likes writing music, no? If she's writing for another group.
yes,
So she likes writing music.
yes.
Or does she do it for, money purpose? Like, oh, this is just money.
I don't know, but I think like she has too big of an ego. Because
Mm,
I feel like there would be people to tell her, okay, what you're saying don't make no sense, but she's like, I don't care. I said it. Because I just
mm,
refuse to believe that nobody tells her what you're saying don't make no sense.
wow. Oh, send this to Soyeon
Mhm.
immediately. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.